Good afternoon, and we are going to look at our first set of trope, and probably the easiest and also the most common trope in the whole Torah. It's four different symbols, and they appear in various combinations throughout the text of the Tanakh, and they are relatively easy to learn, and there are some memory tricks that I use in remembering them. Um, Here we have our basic, it's like a trope list. It's a paragraph with the names of the trope written out in Hebrew letters, and then the corresponding trope mark appears in the proper place, underneath, on top. In the case of something like Yitiv always appears at the very front of the word here. Okay. So for instance, you have here the word Zadaka. Well, Zadaka is the name of this trope mark, and that trope mark appears with it. Okay. So you can actually sing through the whole chart like I've done in previous video. Zadaka segol. Okay. So if you're wanting to start out the easiest, you want to start out with these symbols, these 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Okay? It's Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. Okay? They are the most common, and they're the easiest to learn. I'm going to sing through in order what their melodies are. Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. Again. Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. Pretty easy, right? So, where it gets difficult sometimes is that you won't always have Mercha come before Tipcha. So you'll have instances where the phrase starts just with Tipcha. And so what you have to do is you have to just remember what the Tipcha piece is. Tipcha, Tipcha, rather than starting in with Mercha, Tipcha. Now what I like to visualize, when Mercha does come before Tipcha, okay, I visualize this line that connects them. You see how this curves down into the left, and then this curves down to the right? Okay, well, they point towards each other. And I see it forming an invisible link between the two trope marks. So you have Mercha Tipcha, Mercha Tipcha, Mercha Tipcha, which makes it easy for the melody to just flow through the text rather than stopping on every word. Mercha, Tipcha. As you get better at it, you'll be able to flow. And this is one of the easiest connections and patterns to find in the text. Okay? Mercha, Tipcha, Mercha, Tipcha. And if you want, you can just practice that. Practice that combination, right? Mercha, Tipcha, Mercha, Tipcha. And they kind of, link together, per se. Let's see if I can get my fingers in the right spot. So we have Mercha and Tipcha, and they link up, right? If Mercha comes before Tipcha, okay, ultra easiest little combination there is. Mercha, Tipcha, Mercha, Tipcha. Okay. Continuing on, the other two marks, okay. Munach, Etnachtah, Munach, Etnachtah, Munach, Etnachtah. Okay. These, again, they don't always come one after the other, but when they do, okay, you can visualize it as this. The Munach steps down, just like you have this L shape. You follow the shape of the L, shape of the Munach, and you're going down. Your melody goes down. Munach, Munach, Munach. Okay, so Munach. And then the Etnachtah, if you look at the little wishbone shaped symbol that is Etnachtah, it points, which direction? It points up, right? Well, the melody of Etnachtah goes, ah, or this. I'm not showing you the actual notes, but I'm showing you just the direction of the melody. So it goes, so it goes up in direction. Versus Munach, which is going, and then Etnachtah, So if you look at it as a matter of the high notes being up and the low notes being down, okay, you can actually see a little pattern here forming where you have Menechat, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. So you have down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, up. And you can actually use the symbol, the trope symbol itself, to remind you of where your melody needs to go. Menechat, Tipcha, down, 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 Munach, Etnachtah, up, 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 just like the wishbone is pointing up, right? Oh, that was my phone. I apologize. So, we have Menechat, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah, down, up, down, 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 up, up, up. Okay, you can remember it like that if you'd like to. So, again, those are the four most common and simplest trope marks or cantillation marks in the Tanakh. Okay, now where it gets tricky is that you are not going to always see them come in this order: Menechat, Tipcha, and then a Munach, and then an Etnachtah. What you have very commonly is you have combinations of Menechat and Tipcha interchangeably. So a phrase or a verse, if it's a Menechat, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah combination, okay, it won't always start with Menechat. It could start with Tipcha, okay. And when it does, just remember the fragment. Tipcha, Tipcha. And what you'll often see is you'll see the order swapped. You'll see Menechat and Tipcha reversed. And so just reverse the sounds. And this just takes practice in memorizing each thing, right? So how it would come across is you just read them backwards. If we sing them backwards here, we can simulate that. Where we go, Tipcha, Menechat, Tipcha, Menechat, Tipcha, Menechat. And you can still connect them and kind of make it smooth and flowing, right? So we could see it like this, Menechat, Tipcha, or like this, Tipcha, Menechat. Okay. Furthermore, okay, the Munach is, although it appears in this simple first set of trope, the Munach is not only really common, it also masquerades as other trope, and it changes melodies depending on the trope that are around it. So Munach could be considered like a chameleon. We're not going to get into that in this lesson, but I think I'm going to do a lesson just on Munach to show you all that Munach and trope that looks like Munach, because if you go over here, you have this word zakef, right? Zakef has the exact same form as Munach, and I can tell you it doesn't sound at all like it sounds over here, And then you have up here, you have Munach, Munach. So without getting into it, I'm just going to say Munach can be a little tricky, but when it is in a group of Mercha, Tipcha, and Etnachtah, as long as it is not being followed by another trope that isn't one of these little easy ones here, right? Mercha or Tipcha or Etnachtah, okay? You just have to remember Munach. So for now, it's just Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. Remember, down, down, down. Munach, Munach. And then Etnachtah points up. So it's Etnachtah. So again, just to review. Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachtah. Okay, so that is the Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, and Etnachtah trope pattern. Have a great day. Remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to, God willing, bring more videos, tutorial videos to YouTube, and so that I can share my gift of how to read the Torah. Thank you.